Today on 60 Minutes, we're going to be talking with two of the most notorious men in the world right now, Fidel Castro and John F. Kennedy.
The Cuban Missile Crisis was a 13-day confrontation in October 1962 between the United States and the Soviet Union over Soviet nuclear missiles in Cuba.
And now we have John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States. Tension against Cuba.
Well, tensions rose 0 to 100 real quick. Knowing that our country was on the brink of nuclear war was absolutely terrifying, but I know I had to do what I had to do to protect our country.
Mr. President, when did you first know that the Soviet Union was sending missiles to Cuba?
Well, Q, back in October I ordered my general to send a U-2 spy plane over Cuba. Over a course of 2 days, the U-2 spy plane had unveiled that the Soviet Union was building missiles onto Cuba.
Mr. President, if you knew for a fact that the Cubans had missiles, why did you keep it a secret to the U.S.?
My job is to keep our country protected. I believe if I had done something other than keeping it to a privacy, our country would have lost thousands. So I met in secret with my advisors for several days and discussed the problem.
So, once you met with all your advisors, Mr. President, what did you do then?
Well, after many long meetings, I finally decided to place a naval blockade, basically a ring around Cuba, with ships obviously. My goal was to prevent the Soviets from bringing in more military supplies.
Mr. President, how did the Cubans or Fidel react to your circle of ships surrounding their island?
Well, I don't think he liked it. I finally demanded the removal of the nuclear missiles and the destruction of the rest of the missiles for my people.
Thank you for telling your side, Mr. President. Thank you for all your time.
No, thank you, kid.
Okay, now that we've heard the U.S. sides of the story, we're going to take it to Fidel Castro to see what he has to say about this crisis. Fidel Castro, how did you meet your partner in crime, Che Guevara?
We met in 1955 at a reunion in Mexico.
How would you say you guys are similar?
The main reason we made such a close bond and became best friends was because of our devotion for anti-imperialism.
Nice. What made you two different?
I personally wanted support from the Soviet Union, while Che aimed towards the non-aligned countries and a little bit of China.
Okay. Very good. Now let's talk about the real reason why we're here. The Cuban Missile Crisis and your involvement.
Missiles? What are you talking about?
Yeah, our country says that you guys have missiles on your island. Is that true?
No. That's stupid.
Alright, let's just say you had nukes. What would you want them for?
Well, probably protect my country.
Oh, that's reasonable. Now that you guys are a new country, you guys probably have a lot of countries not liking you or some may liking you. What are some of the disagreements that you guys have so far with other countries?
Just the U.S. trying to fight us in the Bay of Pigs.
Oh, what was that all about?
Just they were jealous that we had nukes and...
Oh, so you do have nukes. Is that it?
Wait, no!
Now that we've heard Fidel Castro's side of the story, we're going to speak to one brave Cuban civilian to see what he has to say about this terrible crisis.
Thanks, Quentin. Here I am with Cuban civilian Yasiel Puig. Come on. How are you, Mr. Puig?
I'm good.
From your perspective, what was Cuba like with the recent crisis with the Soviet Union and the United States?
Very scary. There were new people I've never seen before. I don't know what to do.
Do you support the communist views of Fidel Castro and the majority of Cuba?
I don't like communism because it got us in lots of trouble with U.S. and it doesn't help us the Cubans.
One last question before we go. Were you a supporter of the Cuban Revolution with Fidel Castro and Che Guevara?
Well, I think we need a change from Batista, but the stuff that they said they were going to do, they never did it. So I don't really like them, but don't tell them I said that. Please, please.
As you can see, not all Cubans support Fidel Castro. Back to you at the studio.